So often I work with clients and I see people struggling to find data. And what I do is I point them to the functionality around pages and show them and remind them how these things work. So everyone's familiar with a list page. In Business Central, we've got the little search button up here. This still works in the Windows client as well. The older versions, there's a search capability. So I can do things like look for the word chair. And with Business Central, I don't have to do weird wildcards here. It's going to do a wildcard search actually across all the fields that are displayed here. So reminding users, I can search for text. Other things that I can do is I can actually do case-sensitive searches with wildcards. So, so the asterisk, for example, if I do capital CON with the asterisk at the end, it's going to start doing anything that starts with CON. This is case sensitive, by the way. So if you've got a system that's very specific to case sensitivity, you can use the @ sign in front of it, and that will eliminate the case sensitivity. So showing people how wildcards work in searches, I think, is really key. It's key in helping people find records. If you think about the GL transaction pages, or let's say inventory transactions, where there's just really a large volume of data that people are trying to sift through, understanding how searches work is a big deal. All right, a couple other things on these searches or on these pages. Remember and remind people that they can personalize them. Now, if type is not a relevant field, I can come in here, I can hide that. I can move these fields around. I can find additional fields that I want to display. So again, so often I work with people and they're saying, well, if I could just have this piece of information. Well, you can add that field to your list view, or get rid of the stuff that you don't want. I think another feedback I get from people is sometimes they think the screens are cluttered. Well, if you're not using deferral templates, for example, on your items, show people how to remove that from their list view. So it's cleaner sets of data. Don't forget too that you can sort these. So we can sort and do custom filters on these headings. So filter would allow me to filter that value, and then filtered to this value is whatever row I'm on. It's going to automatically filter that list to the value. Advanced searches. So if you're in the Business Central version of the product, Microsoft continues to make enhancements to this advanced search capability. If you're using the desktop client, you're familiar with this as well. The filters are available. So showing people how to use filters is key. Again, with the filters, wildcards are available. So if you think about case sensitivity, if you think about starting with something, that asterisk works as well for ending with. So if I know it ends with something, I can use that. I like to remind people too that fields that are available here are more than just static values. So things like a budgeted quantity or a consumption quantity. These are calculated fields using the flow field technology in Business Central, and I can filter on those. So for example, I've created this filter here, which is quantity in my main location. So if I click that saved view, by the way, we can save views in Business Central now. This is just going to show me quantity on hand at a specific location. So I've just filtered down here for my main location where my quantity is greater than 0. So complex filters can be created, or complex views can be created in the system, and then I have the ability to save them. So often users don't realize that they can save these views. So if I've got some complex structure, or if I'm looking at multiple item categories or something like that, I can filter. I really like the functionality here. When you think about quantity on hand, when you think about quantity on purchase order, quantity on sales orders, those fields can be added to these views, and I can include them in my filtering, and I can save them if I need to. So if you're dealing with purchasing individuals that want to see quantity on hand and quantity available, all that sort of stuff, put them in the view, make them accessible to the users. All right. Couple other things. These are specific to Business Central. Just draw your attention to them again. Under the page option, I have Edit in Excel, showing people how Edit in Excel can assist them in their day-to-day operations, especially with mass updates. So, so often if you're thinking about salespeople and I'm rearranging my territory, or I'm sorry, my customers, rearranging the territories, I can use Edit in Excel on an ongoing basis. Edit in Excel can also be used for reporting. So if you have end users that want to start filtering a list and creating pivot tables or something like that, Edit in Excel, remember, gives them the direct live connection back to Business Central, key for creating pivot tables around quantity information, that sort of thing. New version or an update with the April version, you can actually shut that off for people. So if we've got some system admins on the line today and you don't want people to use that, you actually can shut that off.